Hello, hello, and we are live. Jump on and say hello if you're joining me. Just getting everything working okay. Yay, Joe's here, so good to see you. Hi, Sue. Just going to wait a few moments for you all to jump in. I'm excited. Oh my gosh. Let me know how you've been finding it so far. Joe, have you come to every session? Let me know how it's been for you. Karen's here, yay. Okay, I'm just going to wait a few more minutes. You can hear me and see me, yay. All right, I'm just going to see and wait for a few more people to join us live. Rue's here, yay! Erin, welcome. Been enjoying it so far, Joe, and learning a bit more each day. I'm so excited. I'm so glad. And it's so interesting with all these psychic senses is so many of these experiences we all have, but no one tells us that it's psychic senses. No one tells us that these are psychic abilities. We often don't recognize them, right? Until we start to look into it, develop it more, understand it more. Good morning. Norma's here, yay. And is it Iona? I hope that's how you say your name. Good morning. Must be cold in Albany, is it? Laura Lee's here, yay. Sinead, so good to see you. It's been so much fun delivering this all to you. And good to see so many of you being able to join every session, which is amazing. Some familiar faces, so excited. So let me know as you're jumping on how you are today as well. I've had a full-on morning with the kids, with the girls. It's behind the scenes, it's a bit of madness some days, and they're both actually quite sick at the moment, so that's a bit tough. So I'll be spending lots of time with them this afternoon. Ree's here, welcome. So excited. So many of you have already jumped in on the spiritual gold pass. So I'm seeing some familiar faces there. Let me know, give me a heart emoji, a red heart emoji in the comments if you don't know what the spiritual gold pass is and you want to know the details. Let us know. Denise is here. Okay, I'm excited and I feel lots of energy coming through today. So today we're really going to dive into claircognizance, and I'm really excited to talk about this because this is another incredible, powerful psychic ability. And I think this is one that we're often really familiar with. And this is also known as a clear knowing, okay? So, oh, Laura Lee, you're going to sign up. Oh my God, I'm so excited. That makes me so happy because you're going to absolutely love it. You guys are going to be blown away when you come in. So claircognizance is a clear knowing. And this is where many of you would have experienced this, and it's where there's no logical explanation as to how you could possibly know what you know, okay? So let me know if you've experienced this, and it can come in premonitions, dreams. It can come in just knowing something's about to happen and then you're right. Knowing, you know, my dad has experienced so many of these, like he always picks people's pregnancy. I remember one of my really close friends years ago told everybody there was no way she was ever having children. She was just like, nope, I love my life. I love my independence. I'm not having kids. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people who has kids. And oh my goodness. Anyway, we were out. It was actually, I think, the evening of my engagement. I just got engaged to Gav, and we're at the Breakwater Tavern in Hillary's, if anyone is local and knows where I'm talking about. And this friend came along, and my dad was there, and we met to kind of celebrate my engagement. And my dad turned to her and said, "You're going to be pregnant with twins." And she was like, "What?" Like, there is no way on earth that is going to happen. Like, there's no way I'm going to be pregnant and be pregnant with twins. There's just no way. And she thought he was crazy. And no joke, I think it was within a couple of weeks she was pregnant, and she did have twins. So amazing. He's picked it with so many of my friends, actually. I was just thinking of another friend early on in her pregnancy, she hadn't told anybody that she was pregnant. Dad did a healing session on her, and at the end of the session, he told her she was pregnant, and she had no idea. And then she got back to him later and said, "You were right." So this is an example of claircognizance, where you just know. It's like, how do you know? The other example in line with motherhood and pregnancy I want to give is, oh, Bianca's here. Hello, Bianca. For those that you have had children, how many of you just knew you were pregnant? Because I had this, even with Skylar, when I really didn't expect it. I didn't think that it was going to happen anytime soon. There was such a small chance we could have been pregnant. It really didn't add up or make sense. And I just knew intuitively, I just know I'm pregnant, and I don't know how. And there was no symptoms, there was nothing, but it was a knowing. Sinead said yes. So let me know if you've had this, because I think it's absolutely incredible when that happens. It's like, how do you just know? And then you also have the people that, you know, you hear the stories where they give birth in the toilet because they had no idea they were pregnant. So you have the other side of that. And I'm always like, how could they not know? Like, I just knew. So let me know if you've had that experience. Yeah, with your second, Erin, you knew. Yeah, and yours as well, your intuition, Bianca, with pregnancy coming through. Okay, did you say you've had the test today, Bianca? We haven't chatted yet, so I'm excited to hear what happens for you. So this knowing, and you might just know that something energetically is about to happen, right? You know, you might just notice that there's going to be a big shift, a big up level coming. You might have a feeling or a knowing like your house is going to sell today. Okay, so that's a big one that I've had students talk about, that they had their house on the market for a while and it wasn't selling for a really long time. And then one of the students that I worked with said she had this dream that her house sold that day, and it actually did. So these sorts of things, this is your claircognizance, and there's no explanation, like how could you know that? And what a lot of people put it down to is like coincidence, luck, right? But I don't believe in coincidence. You know, I think everything happens for a reason, and I always believed that growing up. So let me know in the comments any other examples of you just knowing things you couldn't possibly know. So some of the signs that you have this strong clair ability and this strong psychic ability is knowing things are about to happen. You can also have a strong you can really detect if people are lying. So this is another part of the gift. If somebody is saying something and they're lying and it's not true, you just feel it and just know it. You just know that there's something not right about it and that they're not telling the truth. The other part of this gift as well is that you might be somebody that often finishes people's sentences or interrupts people because you just know what they're going to say. Let me know if you're that person. That's definitely me, and it drives my husband mad. I'm like, I know what you're going to say. So this is another sign of strong claircognizance. The other feature of this is that your instincts can be really, really strong. So you get a really strong gut feeling about something. So this is just how it comes through for me as well. It's just a feeling, like a knowing and a strong gut feeling that either I need to do something, make a move, or that something's going to happen. So an example of this from my life, and I'm going to read some of your comments shortly, is I always knew and was heard and felt and knew and was told by spirit that one day I'd combine psychology and spirituality. I knew that even when I was studying psychology, but I couldn't understand how that was possibly going to happen or when it was going to happen, because there was no way that I could see anyone in psychology being open to spirituality. It was something that we never learned about, we never talked about. In all of my training and study in 10 years that I did, and, you know, spent so much time and energy learning about becoming a therapist, a psychologist, we talked about transference, counter-transference. And what that means is, you know, the psychologist's response to the client's response and feeling towards the psychologist, and talked about all these terms. And to me, I'm like, we're talking about energy. We're talking about a transference of energy. And we're talking about the therapist tuning in intuitively, knowing, feeling, sensing. And I would be in these sessions and we'd be training to be psychologists, and I'd watch the most incredible psychologists talk about images that they were receiving in their mind's eye when they were talking to the client. They were saying, you know, I see a red car as you're talking, and I see you walking here and doing this. And I'd be observing going, do they even know what they're doing? That they're using their psychic abilities here. Like, how do they know that? And how are they, those images that are coming to mind, this is psychic. And so, but they never talked about that. And we were never allowed to mention that. And we never spoke about intuition either. So I could never see how on earth this was ever going to come together. But I was told it would happen. And so it came through as a knowing when the time was to move. And Bianca was there through this part of the story as well, which I've shared a few times. I got made redundant at my job as a psychologist. And it was a really well-paid psychology job. I thought I'd literally made it. I'd worked my entire career to get to this point, worked with the best people. And then all of a sudden they lost funding and they had to let us go. And it felt like the worst experience in my life. But I had, underneath the pain and the disappointment and the sadness and all of that, Bianca actually said to me, what if this was the universe pointing you in a more aligned direction? Or what if there was a new path opening up for you? And I just couldn't see it or believe it at the time because I was so in the emotion of it and just couldn't understand it. But I chose to take that on and believe, what if that was true? And what came through was a knowing that I needed to start my business. It was a knowing that this was the time that you were going to combine psychology and spirituality. But I didn't have the rest of the steps. I didn't know the entire picture, the entire journey. I only just knew the next step. And this is what I want to say when it comes to claircognizance and receiving guidance and information for your own life, is that you'll often only ever know the next step. They won't give you the entire pathway and all the steps ahead because you're not supposed to know. And remember that part of being human is the joy, the fun, the excitement that comes with the magic of surprises and opportunities and things that are better than you could have ever imagined or that you didn't see coming. And remember that when we surrender and hand our power over to the universe, God, angels see unlimited possibilities for us, things that we couldn't even imagine or see for ourselves. And so we've got to be open to that. We've got to be open to be guided to where we're meant to be and trust that when we set an intention about what we want and what we want support with and what we want to achieve in our life, the universe has our back and is working towards bringing that in the best possible way to us. And we cannot ever see and predict that entire picture. Even as a psychic, I never get every single detail of every aspect of somebody's life. I can get a lot of things, but there's always missing pieces because we're not supposed to know it all. We're supposed to enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, and be pleasantly surprised by what comes into our life. So there was no way I could imagine I'd be doing what I'm doing right now. I did not predict this. What I did know is what I told you about psychology and spirituality and combining that. I also saw images and knew I'd be online. I knew that at the time when I was studying therapy, nobody was doing therapy online. It was brand new. No one was doing psychology sessions on Zoom. Okay, and I remember seeing images of myself and pictures doing it on Zoom. And I knew that that was going to happen, but I didn't know in what way, shape or form or how that would look. Does that make sense? And so that's an example of a knowing, but you're only given what you're meant to know. And when you're ready to receive it and you're meant to receive it, then the next piece will come through. Does that make sense? And we've got to surrender and trust that we're not always going to get all of the answers, and that's okay. The other part of this is that when you get the knowing and the nudge and you know you need to do something and you don't know why and it doesn't make logical sense, we've got to be courageous enough to move with that and take action and do our part. Because if we're asking for support and guidance around something, the universe is doing its best to give us the people, places, opportunities for that to come into our reality. We've still got to do our part. We've got to do the work. We've got to show up. We've got to take action. And so when that comes to growing a business, for example, like I do, I've got to do my part. I've got to show up. I've got to put things out there. I've got to, do the inner work to build my confidence. I've got to create the pathways for people to come into my world. And by me doing that and being courageous enough and following the guidance and showing up with the downloads when they come through, the universe backs me and supports me. And that's when I get downloads that come through of what I need to do next. Now, I know some people asked about this on the call the other day, so I wanted to address that. A download comes from the divine, it comes from source, it comes from spirit, your spiritual team, your higher self, however you want to look at it. And it's like an idea, it's an inspiration, it's a thought, it's a feeling that comes through that you know, is divinely guided, okay? And so this is what I've received around the spiritual gold pass, okay? When that came through, literally, was it last night that it came through? The night before. I had no idea that was going to come through, but I did my part. I showed up, and I'm always asking the universe, what's the next best step? How can I be of support in a bigger way? How can I serve in a bigger way? And I'm showing up, I'm doing my part, I'm doing what I can do. And then in doing that, I get supported and guided. But I'm also strengthening my psychic abilities, my intuition, so that I can receive it and feel it and know it when it comes in. But I also trust myself to move on it. So that gold card idea came in, and it's selling like crazy. People are coming in left, right, and center to that pass, and it's the best offer I've ever created. I'm going to talk more about it later. Pop a red heart emoji in the comments if you don't know about it and you want the details, because we'll bring that through for you later. So this is an example of when you strengthen claircognizance and you strengthen all of these psychic abilities, you become a channel. Okay, so you become a channel for spirit, for source, for the divine, for inspiration, ideas, money-making ideas as well. They come through. You know, it's just incredible. It's mind-blowing, okay? And a lot of you have the ability to receive this and do receive it, but do you know what happens is we get in our head. So you receive it, you receive the incredible idea, the next move, and then you doubt it and you question, you overthink it, and you go into logic and reason, and we talk ourselves out of it. And fear sets in because we don't know if it's right. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust what we're receiving enough. We don't trust the divine or spirit. We don't trust what we're feeling, okay? And that's why getting to know ourselves at a deep level is very, very important. And building that connection with spirit so that you fully trust what's coming through and you fully trust you're being supported, even if the evidence isn't there or you can't see and touch it yet. Does that make sense? So a big part of spiritual work and becoming a medium and a psychic is strengthening your connection with your spiritual team. But the biggest journey is around trust. Trust in yourself, trust that you can do this, trust you're being supported, trust that spirit are going to come through and deliver a message to the person you're reading for. Trusting it's going to happen. I have to have immense trust in spirit when I'm doing mediumship readings and things like that, because I don't know what's going to happen. With one-on-one readings, I get everything the moment that I start the session. I don't open up beforehand. I used to. I do it sort of on the spot now. And I have to trust that what needs to come through for that person will come through. And it does, and it always does, right? And so with experience, I've built up so much more trust. And I think when we trust spirit and we trust ourselves and what's coming through and that we can do it, we become more of an open channel to receive more guidance and more information and more clarity. That's what I've found. Okay, so I'm going to go back and read your comments about your claircognizant experiences. Sinead said, me and my hubby do that. We finish each other's sentences. I love it. My husband, it drives him nuts because he's like, can you just listen to me? And I'm like, yes, 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 but I know what you're going to say. Bianca says, when I said your redundancy was a great purposeful shift into your new biz. Yes, we spoke about that, a complete knowing. That was your claircognizance as well, Bianca. You just knew. You just knew. And I couldn't see the clarity at the time because I was so overwhelmed with emotion, thinking that literally everything I'd worked towards and it was over. And you just knew, Bianca. So that's example. The other thing that I want you to know with this is that the universe will channel through other people. If there's a message you need to hear and receive, it will come through your close friends, family members, people around you sometimes, okay? So that you've got to feel into it. When someone gives you a message and delivers something to you, how does it feel in your body? When I know it's something I need to receive in here, I feel it in my body. When Bianca said that, I knew too that she was right. I knew it. I felt it. It felt right to me. So you've got to use that discernment and tune into it yourself as well when you're receiving that from other people. It's like, does that feel right to me? Can I get behind that? So you're saying I can pick up on people lying and having dreams of some world events. Amazing. Yes. This is a big one. Yeah. Tuning into world events, different things that are happening. I love that. Debbie's on. Hi, Debbie. Iona said, I can see stuff happening. Sorry, I've lost that. In that moment that it starts unfolding and time slows down, I have, yeah, oh, wow. And a few robberies and things. Yeah, I'm also wondered what claircognizance was, Joe. It's a knowingness. You have this. You know what? We all have this. Everyone has this ability. Women seem to be particularly tuned into this. You know, men have all of this as well, but women seem to be a bit more tuned into this as well, you know, where you just know. And let me know in the comments if you're someone in your relationship where you sort of are the one that just gets this knowing, gets this guidance, and you're sort of saying to your partner, you just need to trust me on this because I just know, and they might not get it or understand it. That's how it's always been with my husband. When I started this business and I said, I'm going to reveal myself as a psychic medium and I'm going to invest in this business coach, and it was a $6,000 investment, and it was my first ever investment in learning about business. He literally thought I was crazy. We had never spent that amount of money on a program, course, or coaching before, other than my university studies. But I knew intuitively, although I didn't have the cash at the time, I knew I needed to do it. I knew I was being guided to that. I knew that program was going to start things off for me, and I knew it was going to put me on the map, and it did. And without that investment and without doing that and starting there, I wouldn't be where I am now. And those investments that I've made have been the best investments of my life. They've brought back so much more in return than a lot of my university studies. So I was trying to say to my husband, you need to trust me on this. And he didn't believe me, he didn't get it, he didn't understand it. But he said, right, like, you want this, you're excited, you believe it, like, I trust you, let's do it. You know what I mean? So let me know if you're that person in your relationship with your partner. Tamara said, I had a dream the other night that I was sitting at a table giving people readings. And I'm sure this has come through in one of the readings tomorrow. This is what you're meant to be doing. Absolutely. So exciting. And do you know the thing about this work for all of you? People absolutely love it. What I'll say to you is you'll never, ever not have work. If you are open spiritually and activating your gifts as a psychic medium and intuitive, a tarot reader, whatever it is, you will never not have work. That's just fact to me. That's just my belief. You will have work for the rest of your life. And my mum said this about psychology, and it's true. People always have problems. People never, you know, there's always more problems surfacing. There's always things that people are needing to navigate. Look what's happened with COVID. That has resulted in mass amounts of people needing help, support, and guidance to move forward in their life. Do you see that there's a role for you now? Do you see that things aren't making sense for people anymore, that people are having to make changes in their life or did around their jobs, their living situation, what they thought was their path, they get redirected, and now what? You know, they lose loved ones, and now what? How do they cope? How do they move through that? They have a serious illness, something difficult happens in their life, their marriage ends. People always need help and always need healers and coaches and mentors and spiritual teachers to help guide them, you know, through their life. And this is why I'm so passionate about this work, because you can have such an incredible difference on somebody's life. You really can. And you've all got this ability. We can all do this in our own unique way. And I really believe that us doing this together as a collective is just going to have such a massive impact on the world. I really do. And there is more and more people now that I wanted to say that if you're anything like me, when you are awakened spiritually and you're becoming more awake and aware of the world, or questioning your existence, why you're here, where you come from, you're open to all that. What happens is you start to seek and look for mentors, teachers, coaches, healers that are also awake, that are also open spiritually. So there's certain people like myself that I don't work with a teacher, mentor, coach. Generally, if they aren't open spiritually, I'm not guided to them, because I look for people that are open like I am, because it's going to be such a more powerful transmission, and it's more aligned, and I feel more connected, and I want to be able to talk about that side of me openly with someone who gets it. So what I'm saying to you is there's more and more of these people out there. There's more and more clients looking for those healers and light workers and people that have this, or have that combination of being trained in a specific healing modality like kinesiology or psychology or breath work, whatever it is. And then they have this combination of spiritual connection, intuition, being able to pass on messages, receive downloads, guidance. That is just such a powerful combination. This work with, you know, all of those other modalities that you study and that many of you have. Okay, so Tamara said, was the first vivid dreams I've had for a while that I remember. Harley says, I resonate so strongly with that, but the biggest difficulty is filtering between ego and the divine. That is the biggest part of this work, Harley. I totally understand that. And we've talked about that a little bit in the Psychic Mediumship Academy. That's the where we really nut that out, where we really do hands-on work and practice for you to start to be able to notice and tune into the difference. And there is a difference, and it's subtle, but you do start to notice it the more you work with it. And so for me, when it's intuitive, when it's from the divine, the way it comes through is it like pops in. It's sometimes the first thing that comes to mind. And it also comes with, you know, quite an excited, uplifting, energized, inspired feeling, okay? If it comes with like a heaviness and a sick feeling in the stomach and doesn't feel good, then it's probably not. That's how it feels for me. But when you practice, and we're going to do a few little exercises in a moment, when it's psychic, it's usually the first thing that comes through. And so you need to trust what just drops in without you thinking about it. When you go into noticing, your mind is thinking, like, I wonder what it is. I wonder what it could be. I wonder what this could be going on for this person. And you're like thinking about, oh, they look like this and they look like that. This could be happening. That's when we're in the ego. That's when we're in the mind. And we're not in the psychic intuitive space. Does that make sense? So when it's psychic or intuitive, it just drops in. It's also the same when it comes from spirit. It's different, but you learn through experience, through practice, and through having hands-on experience with it. That's where you learn the difference. Okay. So Debbie's saying, my sister gave me a message yesterday that was completely from spirit. And she said to me, gosh, I don't know where that came from, but I knew. I love that, Debbie. It's so beautiful. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is give you a couple of little exercises to test out the claircognizance. Okay. And this is really something that you strengthen the more that you work with it. And we do this in the Psychic Mediumship Academy, where we do lots of different readings as well, and readings with other people and different exercises to allow you to just trust what's coming through, trust the first feeling. And many people will just know. They'll just know something about the person that we're reading for, and they'll just know that they just went through a breakup, or they'll just know that they've had a really hard day, or they've had a sickness or an illness come through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a card. Okay. Let me just choose. So this card has a message behind it, and I want you to use claircognizance to tune into what the message is. Okay, and I just want you to have fun with this. This is just one practice that we can do. So just relax yourself and allow yourself to take a deep breath in and out. Set your intention to work psychically. And set your intention to tune in to what is the message behind this card. Now, I want you to trust whatever's coming through, okay? And I just want you to go with whatever comes through for you without overthinking it. So just pop it in the comments and trust whatever comes through is meant for you, that this is right. You've got to trust that no matter what, this is the message that needs to come through. If you're watching the replay, you can give this a go as well. So now what I'm going to do, now there is different interpretations of this card. So I want you to trust that you're actually all right in your own way. Okay, so this card, I'm going to turn it over now. It says remain positive. Now, what I want you to do with that is what you can do, okay, and it's up to your own interpretation of this. When it comes to card readings and tuning into the energy of the card, whatever comes to you is right. Does that make sense? But what you can do as well is tuning into the picture of the card. Now, I don't know how clearly you can see this on the screen, but you can actually tune into the picture of the card and you can pick up information to read for somebody or for yourself based on what you feel is coming through, just by what you see in the picture. Okay. So all the messages that are coming through that you've all felt into are messages that are important for you and for you all in the space and are coming through from spirit. And it's coming through from you just knowing. And so this is a big part of it, to channel messages and guidance is going with what is just coming through and what you just want to say and what you just feel and what you just know to be true. And then trusting that that's right and that's exactly what the person's needing. That's what this work is all about. Okay, so however you all interpret this message, it's going to be in your own unique way, but I do feel some beautiful messages coming through there. So I'm also going to do one more. So I want you to tune into the message behind this card. Diane's here. Hello. So just pop it in the comments what's coming through for you in this card. Okay. So this is it says you're ready. Okay, and there's lots of different ways to interpret this card and the message. And you can even look at the picture there. I'm trying to see if you can see it. Okay, and just look into the feeling of that. So this is also a collective reading, okay? So whatever you're feeling, whatever's coming through is coming through from the divine, coming through from spirit for you today. So if that's a message you needed today, this is what's coming through. So let's have a look, because you've all picked up on the message that spirit wants to come through with. Believe in yourself, trust in the process, you're enough, open your heart, love yourself, be sure about yourself and make it manifest, believe, hope, playfulness, align with a lighter self and an open heart. The light is with you to trust yourself because your higher self and the highest has the highest regard of you. You're guided by your heart and to believe in yourself. I love this. Bringing you back to the heart. That's, yeah, a lot of similar messages coming through. So you've got to trust in this. You're knowing that if that's the message, that's what's on your heart, then that is the message that needs to come through. Celebrate you. Radiate your love and healing. I love this. Diane says, your heart is the divine portal. Let your heart guide you to channel messages from spirit, and from spirit guides, direct connection to spirit. How beautiful is that? Can we capture that, Diane? I love that. And it's so true. Like, this is all the messages that spirit want to bring through. Yeah, a lot of love, bringing through love, trusting in yourself. Beautiful. Diana, I'm getting higher and lower third eye chakra activating, masculine and feminine. Beautiful. Beautiful cards. So this is coming through from Spirit. So what the message that you all received is you're just knowing and you're allowing what needed to come through. And it was perfect and it was beautiful. And so those messages are for you and for everyone in the group. This is what Spirit want to bring through. This is what they want you to all know. Okay, so I want you to feel that transmission, feel that love coming through. Now, I've got a surprise for you all. And a surprise guest coming on. Now, bear with me while I try to work this and get this happening. So just give me a minute. Okay, we'll see if this is going to work. Just give me a few minutes. Okay, so while we're just waiting for the tech side of things to work, sorry for the little delay here. We're just trying to get this working. Okay, I might have to do this in another way if it's not going to work. We'll see. All right, so while I'm waiting to see if we can get this other part of the session working, I am just going to spend a little bit of time chatting to you about the Gold Pass that we announced yesterday. So let me know if you're already in the Gold Pass, because quite a few are in on here today, and let me know if you want to hear a bit more about it. I am trying new things tech-wise, and it's not working at the moment. That's okay. We'll sort it in a minute. So, reason, I'm so excited. Okay, so how long does it run for? Let me know what you mean by that, Debbie. Laura wants to be in. Awesome. This is going to be absolutely incredible. I received this download from Spirit to do this for you all and to do this spiritual gold pass. Okay, and so what it is, it's currently $1,111 to purchase the spiritual gold pass. There's also payment plans and options for that. So it makes it like super easy. Tristan's in, I'm so excited. And it just came through from Spirit and I just had to act on it. And this is how I am like in my business as well. And so one of the things about this though, is that it's going to be a surprise with what you actually get, okay? So those that jump in early and trust their gut and know it's for them and know they need to work with me in some way and they're really ready to activate their spiritual gifts and really go all in on this and also want to learn about creating a business and making money and attracting clients doing this work, like this is who it's for. It's those that really want to go on a big journey to learn all of the things. Now, you don't know exactly what you're going to get yet, but what I have told you and given away is that you will have the Psychic Mediumship Academy. That will be part of this, that you'll get the next round of the Psychic Mediumship Academy. So you'll be automatically in that. And then there's going to be a whole range of offers that I released during the Lifting the Veil event that we're going to do, where you'll get to know all the other offers that are part of this, which is going to be insane and huge. And it's just going to be so valuable. It's just going to blow you away. It really is. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun doing this. And that's the point of this, is making it fun for you and using it as an opportunity to trust your guidance, trust your intuition. So I'm going to be releasing more about what's in the offer, but the only thing that you need to know is that the price is going to keep increasing until it reaches $5,555. Okay, and I'm not going to tell you when the price is increasing. It's just going to increase when I feel guided to increase it. Okay, and so there might be a price increase again really, really soon. So if you know you want to do it, you're going to get the best deal by getting in now, and then it's going to go up. And then when you know what everything is, you're still going to be able to buy the card, but you're going to be paying the full price. And it's still going to be worth it, and it's still going to be amazing value. But yeah, that's just how it's going to work. It's going to be a bit of fun. So I'm going to be revealing more and more about that. So Karen, if you're still on, I'm not sure if you're on, can you drop the links in for that? I'm not sure if Karen's on with us or not, so we'll see. Okay, so now I'm going to see if I can do, if you have any questions on any of this as well, just make sure you send us a DM. Okay, so send us a DM if you're interested, if you want more information, and we can help you out with that. I'm going to tell you more about it as in the next coming days. And also we're going to do the prize draw as well, happening on Monday for those that have been participating in the course, showing up every day, commenting. Those of you that added and tagged friends in the group, there's going to be a prize giveaway happening as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. So let me see. What I'm going to do, everybody, because I'm having a slight tech issue here with what I'm trying to do. Oh no, it's all working now. Yay. Oh my goodness. I want to introduce you to my lovely dad who's jumping on board with me now. Dad, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes,
Can you see us?
Yep.
There's a slight delay on this live stream for me, so I've got to navigate that. I think the next time we do it, I might do it differently because there's a bit of a delay. But Dad is joining us. Some of you have met my dad before. He is such an incredible person and incredibly spiritually gifted. And we went on this journey together to develop and activate our psychic and mediumship abilities. And I was probably around 18 when I brought Dad along on this journey with me. And I knew he had a gift, and I knew that this was the work he was meant to do. And so I started developing. I brought Dad on the journey with me. We activated psychic mediumship abilities, and then Dad started to activate light language, channeling. He went into Tai Chi. He's done all these incredible things. And so that was completely unexpected, okay? And this is what I want to bring Dad on and share this with you, is that you don't know where the journey is going to take you. When you activate your gifts like we did, you have no idea where it's going to take you. But what I can guarantee you is that your life is going to be so much better because of it. More joyful, more fulfilled, more connected. You're going to be able to experience things you never thought were possible. You're going to really be able to stretch yourself and unlock potential within you that you just had no idea you were capable of. And to me, that's the most fun and exciting thing about life, is discovering that, discovering more of who we are and what we're made of and what we can do. And so I'm so proud of, Dad and the journey he's been on and what he's been able to do. And so we've come together to do the spiritual activation membership, which we do together. So some of you who are already in that will know. If you want the details for that, let us know, message us. But I'm going to hand you over to Dad, and he's going to introduce himself a little bit and then share what he wants to share with you today.
Okay, thanks, Laura. Well, this has been quite a journey for both of us. This online Zoom thing is a new thing for me as well. So it's quite exciting to be able to connect with a whole lot of people that are on the same path and on the same journey. So as Laura said, everyone's different. It's going to take you in different directions. You're not all going to be able to do the same thing, and it doesn't matter. We're all the same. The journey to the top of the mountain has many paths, and whatever path you follow, you'll get to the top eventually. So that's the aim of all these exercises, and it's to open up our psychic abilities, to really get to realise what we're here for. There's a whole lot of things happening around the earth and the planet at this time, and we're here to smooth things out, to lower the energy, or raise the energy, in fact, and make things a whole lot better for the majority of people that join in. So some time ago, I've done various forms of healing, but all of a sudden I started doing light language. Channeling is something that developed over a period of time. I don't do an awful lot of it, but just from time to time, I connect with sort of light beings, you might say, or a collective in the Orion star system. Initially, I connected with amphibians that were here when the Earth was begun, the people that built the pyramids. They were giants, apparently. And in the beginning, it was very hard to assimilate the energy. I was sort of shaking and moving quite a bit, and it frightened some people, including members of my own family. But eventually it's sort of smoothed out, and I'm able to do it fairly easily. A lot better when it's done with a group. It's been shown scientifically that when a large group of people do the same meditation at the same time, then it has an effect, and it can be measured. So what we're going to do is run through a meditation. I'll introduce some light language, and we're going to work through the chakras, the 7 main chakras. We're going to go to a couple of the 8th, 9th, and perhaps the 10th chakra as we work through this meditation. We're going to work through the chakras. So to begin with, take a couple of deep breaths. The 8th, 9th, and 10th chakra. As we work through this. Center yourself, put one hand on your heart and the other hand in front of you like this. And what we're trying to do here is center the mind and the heart together. Focus on centering your mind and your heart. Breathe into this feeling. Breathe into your heart. Feel your body totally relaxing. No stress, no fear anywhere in the body. Really calm yourself from head to toe. Ground yourselves by imagining roots growing from your feet deep into the earth. In a column of light connecting the depths of the universe with your crown. Feeling all this energy flow right through your body. Just focus on your breathing for a moment. I'm going to play some bowls in a minute, just to feel the bowls shake any negative energy in your body out, any negative feelings, any thoughts that are holding you back from your true potential. You can lower your hand now, feeling yourself totally relaxed. Now we're going to open up your root chakra, the lower chakra. Color is mainly red. Imagine that chakra rotating in a clockwise rotation. Feel the energy building up. Imagine it's like a lotus flower opening up, the leaves spreading out. Feel the calm, peaceful energy emanating from the root chakra. Now move up chakra. Imagine the chakra rotating in a clockwise direction again. Just imagine a An orange lotus opening up, spreading its flowers out to catch the light. Now move up to the solar plexus chakra. It's mainly yellow, rotating in the clockwise direction. Feel all of that energy filling your body. Now move up to the heart. Breathe deeply into your heart chakra. Feel it rotating in the clockwise direction. Now move up to the throat chakra. See that lotus flower opening. This is where you speak your truth. It's where you can speak your beliefs. Now move up to the third eye chakra. Really feel a very large lotus flower opening up from a very dried state to a very succulent, huge flower, letting in the light. Now move up to the crown. This is an even larger lotus flower opening up to the whole width and breadth of your body. Just sit in that energy for a moment. Shaniya sondakaya no kasha patilo koshimeni akosha matalio kotoya amboko kashi statatoshimai ikas togushi sabatia umaya gusha matilato vandukushkoto la pahiyato sandakaya sundo gumaya ashana wayasu. Breathe in the energy. Breathe in all that light. Breathing in all the colours of the rainbow. Breathing in all the energy that life has to give. Shaniya kato kataya, undakash katala kumaya, andaya katalegataya, maya kuka shana, akataya sana, andagara. Really feel that energy filling your body. Feel the energy coming through your hands, through the crown, and through the roots that you've sunk deep into the earth. Filling your body with that universal knowing. That universal knowledge. Now we're going to move to a higher chakra, the 8th chakra, which is about a foot above your head. Feel this chakra rotating in a clockwise direction. This is really opening you up to the universe. Shaniya la kotaya, undaya samakia, koya sa, ya kuna katash kita megata, antekatosha mekia to. Now move up to the 9th chakra, about a meter above your head. Andosho mokwa. Feel the chakra rotating. Feel your whole body pumping with healing energy. opening up your gifts. Now we're going to move to the 10th chakra, which is moving into the galaxy, opening up to the galactic council of light. Opening up to the knowledge that's always been there. Through a collective presence that had followed the earth from its beginning. We are one. I am that I am. All that I was, I am. All that I will be, I am. I am, I am. Shanai kana kuka, shoshapati shosamaki, daikusha matatilo kosha, matuko shimatila, iriakuta tayasana, keo kushamati. Breathe in that energy and sit with it for a moment. Breathe deeply. Feel the energy coursing through your body, rejuvenating every cell, every membrane, every sinew. Healing your mind, body, and soul from anything that's holding you back. Yasina kalai tukumata, oyata oyabaka, oshamato wata yalato kushi. We nako makadishatale, onkoda shabata yatoka, yato makiyasho mata, elokopai kustada yoba, inokoma. We are one with the universe. Feel the peace and tranquility that this energy brings to yourself and your body, to your thoughts, to your physicality, and to your very soul. We makwaniato, ilakashanatatkiyata, yanda kata shama, wanda kataya mayadoya ashanaka uma. We are not quata shotoko, asamakota stoko pati, yanoko, yasotan. Yanoko tatapatito, kashitita katakita pakutote. Yakatakatoshi migita katakushkate katakushkate takataki. Feel that energy expanding around your heart, bringing warmth, tranquility, peace, love, and spirituality. We are one. Sanaketaya to makaya sonakiyasho. Akatatia sumagitialato. Maikunta ishtakatali victoria piaba. Andakataya suna. Ialakatoko mayasin. Ashida sumati. Breathe in the energy. Breathe in the love and light that this group is sharing. Breathe in the love and light that we want to bring to the world. Ashanti, Ashanti, Kanti Ako, Aishkamaya. Bima Shanti Ramoko Biokoma, Shila Kahuvra Niom. Bima Shanti Ramoko Biokoma, Shila Kahuvra Niom. Bima Shanti Ramoko Biokoma, Shila Kahuvra Niom. Breathe in that energy. Yanaki Gatashina, Wanakatoya Payatala, or Yakatash Kadila Gadaya, Mando Guama. Breathe into your heart. And very slowly bring yourself back into your bodies. Very slowly bring yourself back. Maintaining that energy that is within you. Very slowly. Feel those roots into the earth, grounding yourself. Bima Shanti Ramoko Biakoma, Shila Kahuvra Niom. Bima Shanti Ramoko Biakoma, Shila Kahuvra Niom. Start to move your fingers, move your toes, move your fingers, and bring your fingers together. Toes, fingers, bring your fingers together. Reconnecting yourself and becoming present. Okay, when you're ready to open your eyes, give you a moment to center your breathing. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for that. You see the comments, Dad? So I hope you felt all of that energy coming through, an example of the light language channeling, energy healing that Dad does. So I've got a slight delay on my computer here, so I'm doing my best. So I'm going to figure out this tech issue later. But thank you so much for coming. And you can see the energy Dad and I have together and how beautiful this feels, because we do this regularly in the Spiritual Activation membership on Fridays at 12:30. We've got a call soon, which some of you are coming into. But we do lots of activations, lots of spiritual teachings, and it's really all about raising your vibration, connecting you all with one another, connecting you back to your hearts, and expanding and opening up your gifts. And it is the most incredible space. And if you're anything like me, I just love being in this energy, you know, and when we do the calls and we do the groups and we do activations like this, it just shifts so much for me. It inspires me, so much comes through, and it's just, I can't get enough of it. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you are interested in joining the Spiritual Activation membership, it's just $88 a month to come in, and it's weekly masterclasses and calls with us. There's so much included in it: energy healings, activations, teachings around light language channeling, all the things. And also then we've got the Spiritual Gold Pass that I mentioned as well. You do get some access in that to the Spiritual Activation membership. There'll be a little... That's all I'm going to tell you. But if you're interested in any of the above, anything that we've mentioned today, just send me a DM. That's probably the best thing to do. You guys are amazing. I hope this has helped you. I hope you've enjoyed the challenge and the experience of it all together. I've absolutely loved doing this with you. It's been so fun. And it's really amazing to see all your gifts awaken and the awarenesses and the shifts that have been happening. We're going to do a prize draw on Monday. So it's not over yet. There's more coming with this experience. So we'll do the prize draw on Monday, and then I'm going to start to reveal and share some more details about the spiritual gold pass over the coming days. And hopefully, if you're watching the replay, we're going to give you some time over the weekend to catch up on the replays, anything you've missed. Just remember to go on the draw to win the prizes. You've got to be registered for the Psychic Challenge, and you've got to actively comment and participate in each of the days, even on the replays. Just comment so that we know that you've watched it, so that we can put you in the draw, and we'll announce those prize winners on Monday. So it'll be so much fun. I really hope you guys have an incredible weekend and take this energy with you home to you and your families. And we're sending you so much love, and we will see you all really soon.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining.